Okay, so one simple goal today: read through the 8 levels, right? Okay, and then we'll start to try to figure them out. No, we can do questions, but we have to finish the 8 levels so that we can like have set up for analysis for next week. Oh, you mentioned that. Okay, so let's start by just reviewing the ones yesterday. Shmona malos yesh b'tzedakah zola malo mizo mala gedola she'ein lamala mimenu ze hamachzik b'yad Yisrael ish shemach v'nosin lo. I had a dream about that, about the word shemach. I don't know what it was. It was trying to, okay, whatever. Wow, I forgot about that. V'nosin lo matana o halva'a o ose imo shutfus o mamtzi lo malacha. And here's the main part. So the goal, so the highest level is you make it so that he doesn't have to ask anymore and he's not dependent on people, regardless of how you do that with matana, work, halva'a, shutfus. Okay. That's okay. Level 2, lower. Lower. Nosin tzedakah l'aniyim over lo yada mi lemin nasan lo yada aniyim mi lakach shahar izo mitzvah lishma kagon lishkas chashayim shaya b'mikdash shayu hatzadikim nosin ba b'chashay v'haniyim b'nei tovim misparnasim mimena b'chashay. So that's the double blind. The karov lazeh, presumably lower, right? Karov lazeh, right, close to this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hanosin l'toch kupa shel tzedakah v'lo yitin adam l'toch kupa shel tzedakah elim. Okay, so giving it to a kupa, and a person should not put into a kupa. El imkin haya yodeh shehamamuna ne'aman b'chacham yodeh linhog b'kshura kachanani ben tradion. Let's see. We didn't do the makbilas on this yesterday. Lakach is a kibel, mimi lakach, right? Who received lishkas chashayim lashon chashay b'sezer tzadikim mish merachim. Okay, he's always finding tzadikim there. People who are merachim. B'nei tovim is mishpacha mechubedes. That's weird. The aniyim who were from a good mishpacha would be misparnasin from that. Say again? Hold on. Why did I forget the microphone? Yeah, but it's weird that it was not all aniyim. It was only the aniyim.
I was wondering what b'nei tovim meant.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, strange. Also, it's kind of weird because you also know that you're giving it to B'nai Tovim, right? Yeah, strange. Okay. The karo, yeah, mimshachat mechubedes shegnai lahem lisparnas min tzedakah b'pumbi. I always forget what the pumbi means. Yeah, I think so. I think it means public. The karo was a taste chaluka. Okay, so make a subdivision. So I guess he's not taking a stance on whether it's higher or lower. Shamamuna hachraya al kubas tzedakah, that the one who is responsible for it, chacham bal malos midosios umalos sichlios b'shleimus ukfi haroy. So he was not talking about chacham like just in intellectual perfections. This is like more like a Hilchos deos chacham. Well, both really. Kshura al pi hachok v'hatzedek. Okay, so according to justice and law. Kachanani ben Tradion, Mechachmi HaMishnah, Shaya Gabay Tzedakah, Ne'aman V'kiyim Es Mitzvahs HaTzedakah, B'tachlis HaShlemus HaSharis, Lo L'Revach, Elo L'Shem, Ahavas Hashem Bilvad, B'ne'emanus, V'zacha, B'zchus L'zeh L'chayla M'vas. So that's the Rambam talks about the end of Pirush Mishnah, about the paradigm of Lishma. Okay, but not the way he's using Lishma here, right? Because then it would be very easy to get Lishma, is you just do a double blind tzedakah and then you got Olam Haba. Okay, all right, now level 3. Oh, you want to say your idea? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, it means that the second level is the gold one.
Right, and the first one's not. You know
Right.
exactly who you're doing.
And also, what the second is like, okay, it might be more even like,
Right.
I can't even respect,
Right. In other words, and given a lot of things we've seen about tzedakah, a lot of the perfection comes through the interactions.
Right.
And that's the step we took yesterday, was to say, not a step even, but just that there is a tension in tzedakah between what you're doing, like what you're accomplishing, and then the effect that it has on you.
Right.
And yeah, so yeah, you have
So my thought was that then the second level is overline is the higher level because you're preventing the onion from having to reveal the animal being that true in that if I can be able to not show as an
Sorry, just say that one more time. I just missed it.
I this is kind of in line with Matnos' explanation of the children.
Okay.
Is that if I don't humanize them by like saying I can't even interact with you, or I can't do that.
Right.
It's more like keeping your dignity intact and not revealing the audience. Like the audience doesn't have the audience doesn't feel that opportunity.
Right.
The audience doesn't feel that he
'Cause-
doesn't know like he doesn't have to reveal himself as
Right.
an audience.
Right.
And he doesn't have to
Mhm.
feel that like
Okay.
I'm learning this
Okay.
one guy, he
Yeah.
doesn't know who he's
Right.
better than.
Okay.
That doesn't answer why that would be the second level. Though,
Yeah.
Right. That, if anything,
I thought that was your
strengthens the
question.
question of why is it the second level? It seems like it should be the first level right now.
No, first of all, higher if you're taking the audience.
Right. Right.
And then
Okay, right. So that I think we have to say that, right? Is that the first level is the first level because it solves the problem of Aniyim, right? But now once you're right. So then once you're in the realm where someone is in need, so then this is a greater preserving of the dignity, which is going to be, it's nice to give it with a smiling face,
Right.
but this is like the most dignified. Right, that's what you're saying. Okay, I hear that. Yeah, Yosef?
That's what I was thinking about in terms of how much shame will the Ani feel?
Yeah, right.
Doesn't
Right, so this is the least shame.
I think obviously also less shame if you just give them a job because that's just the only thing I have to think about is Tzedakah.
Right, that's also true, right, in the long run. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was wondering if
yeah.
there were like levels to that with it.
Yeah, so this is why I want to go
It seems like
through.
there is.
This is why I want to go through all of them. Okay, so let's go through all of them now. Halachos mizeh, sheyeda hanosein lemi yitain. The giver knows who he's giving it to. V'lo yeda ha'ani mimi lakach, but the ani doesn't know who he's getting it from. Kevon gedolei ha'chachamim shayu holchim b'seiser mashlichim amos b'fiskei ha'aniyim. So the gedolei chachamim would go in secret and throw the money into the doors of the aniyim. V'chazeh roy lasos. That's what you should do. Umala tovahi. It's a good mala. Im ein hamamunin but tzedakah noagim kshura. So that's what you should do if the mamunin and al tzedakah are not behaving properly. That's interesting. So he does seem to be saying that the kuba system, when it's working properly, is a higher level, right, than this. Okay.
And that kind of thing
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize we didn't read all of the for the ani. Well, the ani knows that the guy knows about him, right? Yeah, right. I mean, I think. Well, not necessarily, I guess. Well, if the guy throws money into your house, he knows you're poor, right? So he knows who you are. Otherwise, he might get the wrong house. I think. We didn't finish reading this Makbili. I didn't realize there was more. This is still on Chanan ben Tradion. Hamase bo muva betalmud maos shapurim kesef le Matnos levionim nischalfu li his arhu v'mashal tzedakah v'chilak team as a kol aniyim. So he says my Matnos levionim money got mixed up with my tzedakah money and I distributed it all to aniyim. It's tarachti lahosif mikispi lemaos purim, and I needed to add for my own money for the maos purim. Okay, that's just an incident about. Oh, I guess he's saying that is the incident where he gave tzedakah in the most perfect way. I don't really want to go into now analyzing what that was, but I guess that was the case. Okay, then Makbili on test was im ein hamamunin the itim nismanu gabay tzedakah she'enam ru'im latafkid. Okay, fine. So sometimes people are appointed who are not roy. Okay, next halachos mizeh, fourth level, lower. Sheyeda ha'ani mimi nata v'lo yeda hanosein. Okay, so we flip it. Right, the ani knows who he's getting it from, but the nosein doesn't know who he's giving it to. Yeah, I don't quite get the picture of this, but they would put the I thought Saudi was a turban. Yeah, right. So they put the money in their turban, but like let it like hang down behind them. And the Aniyim will come and take. Right, so that they wouldn't have any busha. So they know that they're getting it from this guy, but he doesn't know who's taking it. He just feels a little rustling in the back. Okay, yeah.
Sudar, is it Sudar?
Sudar, I know is a flag. It might also be a turban, I think. Sudar, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that is Yod Sorim is nothing but Zror, Mafshilin Lacharim, Tolim Yachare Gabam, Lahem, okay, All right, now we get to quick levels. 5. Pakas mizeh shitin ani biado kodem sheyishal. You give to the ani before he asks. Okay. 6. Pakas mizeh shitin lo karoi litin lo achar sheyishal. You give him after he asks. 7. Pakas mizeh shitin lo pachos min haroi b'sefer panim yachos. You give him less than you're supposed to, but you have a smiling face. 8. Pakas mizeh shitin lo be'etav. You give it to him with less. You mean for the 7 is less than in Roy, right?
But it's 8,
No, when
he's
it's
asking
eight.
is 8 Roy, but
Oh,
with a
8
bad
is-
face,
oh, I
or
see what you're
is
saying.
8 not Roy and with a bad face.
Oh, okay, right. Probably Roy, but with a bad face, right? I would think so. Yeah.
I don't think that'd be not a word with a bad face, because if you're giving that rule, you already have some little fit into the mitzvah.
Hmm.
So how could a successful doing of the derisa mitzvah be below a failed doing of the derisa mitzvah?
Well, I think because it seems to me that the etzev was a really bad thing. That so even if you're doing a baroy, then you're mafsid your zechus for it. Like that was the case the Rambam gave. Like even if you give him elef zehuvim, but you do it with etzev, then you're mafsid or ma'abid your zechus. Yeah.
Also, I mean, levels 5 and 6, he says that 5 is giving the ani before he asks, and then 6 is giving him karoi after he asks.
Uh-huh.
So like, is level
Oh,
5 not karoi, but it's since it's
I
before
see,
he
right,
asks,
right.
it's better.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, yes, same question there.
Right. Right. So I think, wait, so does that point to the answer then?
I don't
Love
Or-
not sure.
Shitin lani biado kodem sheyishal. So if you just read 5, it would say that you're of course giving him karoi, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's what you think. But then once you read shitin lo karoi litin achar sheyishal, so then the question is giving less preemptively better than giving the right amount emptively? Post-emptively. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm assuming the other ones are not right. Or not that right.
All the other ones above, you mean? That's true. That's true. Right.
And then where you don't know the audience,
Yeah.
not necessarily
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear the problem. Yeah, yes.
And also the phrasing bachuz in it. Okay, so I think that applies that each scenario is different than the other, and you can't mix and match scenarios.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering also. Meaning like the thing that makes it level 8 is the be'etzev, right? And irrespective, I mean, this would be testing it out that way. And irrespective of whether you give him roy or not, etzev automatically knocks you down to level 8, right? And then the question, and then sever panim yafos is level 7, and the chiddush is even if it's pachos min haroy. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, fine.
Right, kind of similar to what Chaim was saying before. It seems like it would be impossible to give him karoi before he asks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if
Not impossible if you know the guy's situation
I guess well, then what does it show kodem sheyishal then? Like
before he actually asks.
I mean, like the guy. No, I understand that. I'm saying it's like to me, there's like 2 situations. One is like this guy just walks into town and he's clearly poor,
Mhm.
and you go to give him money, or he like walks. He's like the town beggar, and you know that he's poor, and then you give him money before he asks you today.
Right.
So like if it's the former, then it would be impossible to give him karoi before he asks,
Right.
because you don't know this guy's situation.
Right.
He could need $100, he could need
Right.
$10.
Right.
That's true, but you could also know, it's impossible.
Or I'm not okay.
Well, yeah, that's.
In that case, it is, but it's impossible when you know the audience, you know the situation, and in that.
Yeah.
But then what is kodem sheyishal then?
Right.
Is it like in this interaction or just?
I think in this interaction, yeah.
Also, here, you can't possibly know a story for the yanni if you don't even know who you're giving to.
Yeah, right. That was what you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
that was tough.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this and see if there are any helpful makbilis. Please,
Also,
yeah.
I don't think it's not going to do that.
Right.
I'm doing the tournament thing,
Yeah.
and I'm taking money. So I don't know that,
Right.
but I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that knocking down all right?
I think the eating of etzev is only a problem when like the ani is seeing it. You know, yeah. If you go to a tzedakah box and go, I don't think that counts as etzev. Gedolei chachamim hayu nosnim pruta la'ani kodem kol tefilah be'achach nispalim shneimar ani b'tzedek echazef anachan. That's an interesting idea in tefilah, maybe, right? I gaze upon your presence or your face in tzedek. That's interesting. That's gedolei hachachamim will give a pruta to an ani before tefilah. All right, fine. Let's look at
about the pruta.
The pruta.
Yeah, well, that's not correct to anybody, right?
Right. That's just doing the Mishlei Tzedakah. Right. Yeah. The etzev. So yishal is shivakesh. Okay, fine. Etzev is b'kaev or b'tzar or b'kas. Right. So any of these bad emotions in pain or in suffering or in anger. I find that's it. Yeah. Okay, those are the 8. Yeah, we got a lot of questions. Okay, so here's what I propose we do. We let these percolate. Okay, I also want to see if in the Shulchan Aruch and the Aruch Shulchan, if they expand upon these as they usually do in terms of like practicality, and that might clarify some of the levels. All right, sounds good. We accomplished our mission. Yeah. Okay.